We've been reporting on the Donald Trump Fox News split, and now it has hit the front page of the New York Times with reporting that Fox is completely bypassing Trump in favor of showcasing other Republicans, effectively displacing him from his favorite spot, the center of the news cycle. Trump has noticed, complaining even Hannity won't pay him much attention anymore. Now, it's a problem for any candidate, even a PR reality show person like Trump, if you are being disappeared from social media, where he's been deplatformed, and television. Now, take Fox's website, kind of a fusion of both, at least TV and the internet, where there's a video making waves highlighting Republicans who say they like Trump enough to go to his recent rally, but are looking for a new leader in 24.
I like what he does, but he upset too many people, and he upset him really bad, so I don't think he's good for the party.
I voted for Trump both times, but I think his time has passed.
I'm thankful for everything that he's done, but I think that our Republican Party needs to be united.
At this point, he's a little too polarizing.
I'd like to someone that speaks the truth, and I really feel like DeSantis would be a good option.
100% DeSantis.
I'm a DeSantis fan as well.
Republican activists, highlighted by Fox News Digital, the logo in the corner, looking for something other than Trump. And then you have what Rupert Murdoch has been leading over there, because instead of showing any of that Trump rally, Fox gave 13 minutes of live airtime to Ron DeSantis at the same night. This is a split that doesn't look like it's going away.
British Airways says it will stop selling tickets on short-haul flights from Heathrow Airport until Monday. The move is due to the cap on daily passenger numbers that the airport imposed over the summer in an attempt to reduce travel delays. The sales suspension will affect BA's flights to domestic and European destinations. Well, joining us now is our transport correspondent, Katie Austin. Katie, what kind of impact is this going to have? Because presumably if you've already got tickets, you should be okay?
Yes, this is really about preventing last-minute bookings this week. Now, the background to this is that airports and airlines have been under pressure from the regulator, the Civil Aviation Authority and the Department for Transport to make sure that their schedules are robust enough to cope with the increasing demand we are seeing, because we had seen in recent months a lot of disruption, with staff shortages being blamed to a large extent for that. So last month, Heathrow Airport said it was worried basically that passengers weren't getting the service they should at the moment as numbers rose and the resources perhaps weren't there, for example, among ground handlers, it said, to match that. So it imposed a daily cap on the number of passengers that could leave Heathrow over the peak summer period, and that was 100,000. Now, British Airways says what it's now doing is, I understand that British Airways has now realised that for this week it was coming close to the number of passengers it could handle under that cap. So it has said it's going to stop selling short-haul tickets from Heathrow, so on domestic and European routes. Now, it says that's a responsible action. It says to help maximise rebooking options for existing customers, given, it says, the restrictions imposed, and what it says is ongoing challenges facing the entire aviation industry. So yes, this is about preventing people buying tickets this week, those short notice tickets, so that there's still some leeway in the system, basically.
OK, so ongoing challenges facing the entire aviation industry. So is this problem not limited to Heathrow? What's the picture at other European airports?
Well, it varies a bit. There have been widespread problems. Heathrow isn't the only airport that has imposed a limit on passenger numbers. Gatwick Airport actually capped the number of flights, but Amsterdam Schiphol Airport also limited passenger numbers over the summer, and today it said it will extend that cap into September and October as well. Its cap isn't as big as Heathrow's, 100,000. In Amsterdam, it's 67,500 departing passengers, and it said it's doing this to keep things safe and reliable.
Katie Austin, our transport correspondent, thank you.
Now to the killing of the al-Qaeda leader, Ayman al-Zawahiri. He's the key figure in the planning of the 9/11 attacks.
He is dead after a U.S. drone strike in Afghanistan this weekend, and he had been running al-Qaeda since Osama bin Laden was killed in 2011 and led the terror organization's spread to other countries. President Biden announced last week that after working with the Taliban, al-Zawahiri was killed in downtown Kabul. Officials say there were no other casualties in the strike. And earlier today, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan spoke with CBS News about the strike.
President Biden's pledge to the American people that even after pulling American men and women out of active combat in Afghanistan, we would be able to take out terrorists in Afghanistan, he made good on that pledge this weekend. He showed that we can actually keep America safe, take terrorists off the battlefield, and not have thousands of American men and women fighting and dying in Afghanistan for 20 years of war.
For more, let's bring in former U.S. Ambassador to Iraq and Turkey, James Jeffrey. He's also the chair of the Wilson Center's Middle East program and acting U.S. Special Envoy to the Global Coalition to Defeat ISIS. So, as we mentioned, the U.S. working with the Taliban in locating al-Zawahiri, but what are the geopolitical implications of working with the Taliban to coordinate this strike?
Deborah, I don't think we were actually working with the Taliban because one element of it, what's called a Haqqani network, was clearly supporting Zawahiri's presence in downtown Kabul. This is a violation of a 2020 agreement we have with the Taliban. This is going to somewhat worsen relations with the Taliban. They're not good anyway. But the main thing is we have shown once again that we are going to go after terrorist threats to the United States and to our friends and allies. That's an extremely important point, along with what Jake Sullivan just said, that we don't have to have all of those troops in Afghanistan to keep terrorists from our shores.
Ambassador, what do you make, Ambassador, of the fact that this guy was just out in broad daylight, so to speak? You know, somebody who, you know, was hiding in every corner and now is as easy to catch as they got him.
As we saw, Osama bin Laden in Pakistan, the Islamic State leader al-Baghdadi in northwest Syria. These people tend to be out in something like the public. They think that their friends and partners will keep them concealed, but sooner or later, our intelligence has a perfect track record of finding them and setting up the situation to enable one or another of our agencies to take these guys out. And we'll continue doing it. That's the message.
More than 20 years. So do we know who might replace al-Zawahiri as the head of al-Qaeda?
We don't. It's not a serious threat compared to the Islamic State around the world, but it is quite violent both in West Africa and in some elements of the Middle East. So taking him out will make us all safer, but it means that we still have a lot of work to do. The Islamic State is an even bigger threat to the region.
Ambassador James Jeffrey, thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Today, the Justice Department filed a lawsuit against the state of Idaho. The suit seeks to hold invalid the state's criminal prohibition on providing abortions as applied to women who are suffering medical emergencies. Under a federal law known as the Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act, or EMTALA, every hospital that receives Medicare funds must provide necessary stabilizing treatment to a patient who arrives at an emergency room suffering from a medical condition that could place their life or health in serious jeopardy. When a hospital determines that an abortion is the medical treatment necessary to stabilize a patient's emergency medical condition, it is required by federal law to provide that treatment. As detailed in our complaint, Idaho's law would make it a criminal offense for doctors to provide the emergency medical treatment that federal law requires. Although the Idaho law provides an exception to prevent the death of a pregnant woman, it includes no exception for cases in which the abortion is necessary to prevent serious jeopardy to the woman's health. In some circumstances, the medical treatment necessary to stabilize the patient's condition is abortion. This may be the case, for example, when a woman is undergoing a miscarriage that threatens septic infection or hemorrhage, or is suffering from severe preeclampsia. When a hospital determines that an abortion is the medical treatment necessary to stabilize a patient's emergency medical condition, it is required by federal law to provide that treatment. As detailed in our complaint, Idaho's law would make it a criminal offense for doctors to provide the emergency medical treatment that federal law requires. Although the Idaho law provides an exception to prevent the death of a pregnant woman, it includes no exception for cases in which the abortion is necessary to prevent serious jeopardy to the woman's health. Moreover, it would subject doctors to arrest and criminal prosecution even if they performed an abortion to save a woman's life, and it would then place the burden on the doctors to prove that they are not criminally liable. The United States therefore seeks a declaratory judgment that Idaho's law violates the Supremacy Clause of the United States Constitution and is preempted by federal law to the extent it is in conflict with EMTALA. The United States also seeks an injunction prohibiting Idaho from enforcing its law against healthcare providers who provide the emergency treatment required by EMTALA. In the days since the Dobbs decision, there have been widespread reports of delays and denials of treatment to pregnant women experiencing medical emergencies. Today, the Justice Department's message is clear. It does not matter what state a hospital subject to EMTALA operates in. If a patient comes into the emergency room with a medical emergency jeopardizing the patient's life or health, the hospital must provide the treatment necessary to stabilize that patient. This includes abortion when that is the necessary treatment. Any state law that prevents a hospital from fulfilling its obligation under EMTALA violates federal law. On the day Roe and Casey were overturned, we promised that the Justice Department would work tirelessly to protect and advance reproductive freedom. That is what we are doing, and that is what we will continue to do. We will use every tool at our disposal to ensure that pregnant women get the emergency medical treatment to which they are entitled under federal law. And we will closely scrutinize state abortion laws to ensure that they comply with federal law.